Hey guys, this is your girl Sis-Lo, and today I want to reach out and just give an encouraging word to all the people out there who are caregivers. Um, a caregiver can be a person that's um, caring for a sick child, um, a child with special needs, a person, an adult with special needs, um, a sick loved one, parent, sister, brother, friend, um, someone who is responsible for the day to day living and essential needs of another person is what I would deem to be a caregiver. Um, Not everybody can be a caregiver. I will be frank with you about that. Um, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. It takes a lot from every aspect of your being. Um, I have a feeling that I probably won't be able to go into everything that I'd like to regarding being a caregiver, but right now, I'll just concentrate on giving an encouraging word to the caregiver. First of all, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being the one that was chosen, ordained, picked, selected, or stepped up to be the caregiver for your person. Thank you for caring. It's not an easy thing to do. As I said before, if it's not a job that you are being paid for, it's a responsibility that you met and you took. And thank you. A lot of people don't understand the toll that it can take on you, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically. Every aspect of your being goes into taking care of another person. Everything that you have to do for you, your own person, are the things that you would have to do for another individual that's totally dependent and reliant on you. And sometimes your needs go without. Sometimes you neglect yourself. It's the first instinct of a genuine caregiver to neglect yourself. It's just instinct. It's like a mother's instinct to know that when her baby is hungry, he has to be fed or she has to be changed or what have you. So it's instinct to abandon your own needs to fulfill the needs of the person that you're caring about. But oftentimes your needs are overlooked, not by not because of the person that's needing your help. They can't help you. And sometimes there are no other people around you that are able or even willing to help you. And sometimes it can get lonely and emotionally draining because you're there 24/7 being the one that's solely responsible for making all of the decisions for that individual, and it gets hard. You have to decide whether to have a catheter put in or removed. You have to decide on what hospital to go in. You have to decide whether hospice care has to come in. You have to decide what how to feed them, or how, or what time they should be fed, or you have to be the one to change the bedding, and the pens, and the washing, and the clothing, and all of, you have to be the one to do all of those things. And when you do it, you'd still do it with love and care and consistency, as opposed to doing it out of anger or frustration. Because the last thing you want a person that needs you to think is that they are a burden on you. So it takes a lot. You are still ministering to the needs of that individual while your needs are going unmet. And a lot of people don't see that. Maybe they see a frustrated individual. Maybe they see an angry person, or a person who always looks exhausted and tired, and can never have time to talk when you call, or this, that, or the other. Or maybe you think that that person don't deserve to have a smile on their face because of what they are going through. Why are you smiling? This is going on. Why are you smiling? People don't understand the full extent of what you go through when the nights are late, and that individual can't sleep and can't rest during the night. And during the day, they have all of the other needs that have to be met. There's one you taking care of this individual and all of your other responsibilities. And rather than to, give you a helping hand, they would rather criticize or say things to you in a negative way about, oh wow, look at your house, look at your hair, look at your this, look at your that, and you need to get some rest. You just gonna have to do this, and you're just gonna, but they don't really understand that you can't get a rest. When I was taking care of my dad was confined to the bed for the last, say, year of his life. My father was my hero. If nobody, no other man ever in this world ever loved me, I know that my dad did. I never had to look for him. I never had to wonder who my daddy really was. And I've never had, all of my needs and essential needs and that were taken care of. The fun. He put the magic in Christmas and Easter egg hunting and surprises and birthday celebrations. My dad was my hero. So when my dad took sick, it was the least that I could do. It was the very least that I could do. It was my honor to take care of my father. And if he were still here, I would still be doing it. Now, was it easy? No, because there were times where he didn't want anyone but me. He felt like I was the only one that knew how to turn him without hurting him, or that I was the only one that understood what he needed. He trusted me to talk to his doctors. He trusted me to take care of everything. My dad trusted me. He needed me, and I was there. But there were so many times that I went without sleep for months. I went without sleep. I would try to get someone else to go and just sit with them for a few minutes. And it was like nobody could really do what did, or what I was committed to doing. That doesn't make them bad, because, again, I say not everybody can be a caregiver. So sometimes I would just have to sit patiently in a chair for hours on end. And that's where I took my naps, in a chair next to my dad's bed, for months on end. That's what I did. All I want to say is To everyone that is a caregiver or ever been a caregiver, thank you. My hat's off to you. I appreciate you. I understand. I understand. And no, there's no relief when your loved one is gone. There's no relief. Oh my God, I'm glad they're gone because I don't have to do this anymore. I don't. No, because if you really love somebody, you'll do whatever you have to do to keep them here. But we do have to realize that they're not happy, that they are suffering. My dad cried. I saw my dad cry once in my life, and that's when his brother passed. When my uncle Paul passed, that's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry. But when my dad cried because he wasn't himself anymore, he couldn't bear the pain and he felt like he was a burden. I got back and I kneeled by his bedside. Daddy, no, no, it's the least that I could do. It's my reasonable service. I would do it again and again and again and again. Forget what the naysayers are saying because some people can say some really nasty and evil and dirty things about you when you're a caregiver. And it's always ends up being about money. It always ends up being about material stuff. But when it comes down to changing a depend or dressing a wound or sitting hours and hours and hours on end doing procedures, they're not willing to do any of those things. So don't allow what a naysayer has to say to make you feel anything less about what you are doing or have done for your loved one. My hat is off to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the people who were or have ever been caregivers for your loved ones. And I know that you will do and would have done any and everything to keep your loved one here if it were up to you. It's not your fault. You did the best that you could do. Take a moment, sit back in your chair, lean back, and release a breath. Exhale and know that your job was well done and that somebody understands and somebody appreciates you. Later for now, I love you on purpose and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Share this with someone who needs to hear it.